ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Do me a little favor on your way into the tower. Don't mind the extra security in the lobby. Just come on in and smash that like button. Give it a little tippy tap. Tap, tap, tap. Let us begin with Das Eagle Song. Good morning, Nerd Vengers. Good morning, Broke Vengers. Good morning, visitors to the tower, and everyone else that's here. You know, look, I think Chet got everybody riled up on Twitter, from what I understand. He was making it seem like I was in an extra crazy mood today. And what's weird about that is the only thing I did differently today was I came in and I said, you know what, Chet? You're all right. I'm looking forward to today's stream, and I value your partnership on this show. What the fuck are you doing? You letting this fucking thing go right now and turn it off.
What are you waiting for?
As I was saying, I said, Chet, you and I'm really looking forward to doing this show with you today. So I gotta be honest, I don't know what he's going on about. It's gonna be a completely normal show, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be a completely normal show. I'm excited to be here with you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Give the like a smash. Lots to talk about today. Where to begin? I don't even know. Look, here's where I want to begin. Here's what I'm going to say. Do you guys remember yesterday? Do you remember when we talked about this? No Star Wars, no cry, right? No Star Wars, no cry. And yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars news. There's the Ubisoft thing. We could talk about it a little bit. You know, we could venture into that topic. But the honest to God's truth, ladies and gentlemen, is I don't feel like it. Not feeling it. And I want to explain why. So we'll get into all of that and more. Big news about Marvel, Kevin Feige, and how he is absolutely not involved or working on Star Wars in any way whatsoever. Even the movie he's producing, he's not really producing. Everyone needs to shut your mouths about that. Okay? So I don't know what kind of hooligans out there are getting everybody riled up about Kevin Feige's involvement in Star Wars. But there is absolutely nothing going on there. He definitely didn't make Thrawn Thanos. So everyone needs to shut up about that. So we're going to talk about all sorts of things today. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really fun stream. I want to go in. There's a Screen Rant article there that looks to be a little different than the Collider article that came out talking about Feige's involvement in Star Wars. I do want to get into all of that as much as we can. So that is not at all. Capisci? So, yeah, we'll talk about that. Now, for the rest of the week, before we get too crazy, show notes, ladies and gentlemen, show notes. In all seriousness, if you are a Nerdvenger member, which we're getting some more right now, welcome. If you're a Nerdvenger member, please stop by this Saturday. We got to talk battle plans. We're going to get things back on track. I know the beginning of 2021 has been a little hectic and crazy, to say the least. We have some big plans. I'm very excited to get started with you guys on some of this stuff. So come on by this weekend at Saturday if you are a Nerdvenger member. If you're a Nerdvenger Prime member, be there on Sunday after dark this week, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to have an incredible sort of pre-show for WandaVision for you guys. Then we are going into our watch party, and then we will do our spoilers WandaVision stream on this channel for around probably 4 in the morning, Friday morning. Okay, so if you're a crazy person like us and you don't sleep or you stay up for these crazy Marvel shows, you watch the show, you want to hop in to the stream, talk about WandaVision with us, get into all the deets, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. I also want to mention I have a dope, and I mean dope, WandaVision video coming out for you guys later today on the main channel. And while we're on that topic, and we'll address this more on Saturday, but I understand that there's been some contention about dumping live stream edits on the main channel, and some people feel a certain way about that. We're going to talk about it on Saturday. I actually think I have a solution. I have a meeting with Elisa after today's stream, and we're going to figure it out. The bottom line is there's going to be so much content coming that there's going to be a lot of stuff all over the place for every kind of nerd here on the Den of Nerds. So, yeah, I understand some people have problems with it or whatever. We'll talk about it on Saturday, okay? So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Chete, is this good? Show notes? Okay, cool. Now, let's talk Kevin Feige. I want to tell you guys a funny, completely fictional story that is absolutely not true. Okay. Let's just have a little fun. So, during the pandemic, the irony. Let's have a little fun. So, during the pandemic, okay, anyway, during the pandemic, very early on in the pandemic, our shill checks got shut off. Okay? So, the shill checks get shut off. It's like one of the first things that went. And I was like, what? You know, because we rely on those shill checks, baby. You know what I mean? So the shill checks go away. And then there was an opportunity after that to negotiate getting shill checks back. Okay? This was like after we were like, oh, we're a DC channel now. You know what I mean? Started pushing all that kind of stuff, right? So the shill checks go away. But then we get to re-up, okay? And the whole thing with the re-up, again, totally fictional story, completely not true. The re-up for the shill check was you need to keep Marvel fans from going insane because we're taking a whole year off. Like, basically, like, we were directed to make people be okay with the delays, okay? And those were awesome shill checks, like money, you know what I mean? Like Mickey himself, haha, nice one, white boy, you know what I mean? A little bit of little cherry on top, as it were. So when we re-upped, okay, I had a stipulation, okay? I had something that I wanted, and I was like, I want to meet Kevin Feige. By the way, the producers are probably trying to call. The phone is disconnected. Yeah, maybe this is why anyway, so I met Kevin Feige, okay? Now, this was what was interesting about this. He was in the Himalayas. And I was like, wow. Like, what's this dude doing in the Himalayas, okay? And so I go up to the Himalayas and I meet Kevin Feige. And basically, like, I don't want to completely speak out of school, right? But we basically just spent a lot of time in robes doing all sorts of drugs and really like bonding in like a really crazy way. And the thing is, it's like, look, the 2020 was really rough. There's a lot of stress, a lot of bizarre things going on in the world. And you know, what started out with a pretty cool nerdy conversation ended up us like running with wild horses in the mountains naked, you know, for days at a time, you know. So, look, within that span of time, he told me everything. So, he told me everything about the MCU, everything about Star Wars, everything. You know what I mean? Like, just in full detail. It was awesome. Okay, but I also agreed to do my part because at this point we were like Spirit Walker brothers. You know what I mean? So like we were bonded like Jedi, Master and Apprentice. You know, a dyad in the Force, if you will. And so I was like, yeah, no, man, I'll respect the space. I won't ruin too much stuff or whatever. And everything was all good until I started talking about this Pablo Hidalgo guy. Like, I don't know if you heard of this guy, right? There's this other guy named Pablo Hidalgo. He wasn't there with me and Kevin, you know, when we were dancing. So when I started talking about this guy, things changed. And Kevin called me, okay? And I was like, man, like, dude, Kev, what up? You know what I mean? Like, yo, all this stuff's crazy. Love the beard, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And he was so crass. And he was so cold. And he was like, look, man, things have changed. I'm going to need you to forget the Himalayas. So, we broke up. So anyway, after that completely fake story that's definitely not real, let's talk about what's actually going on with Kevin Feige and Star Wars and all that. And I hope you enjoyed that little story. So, you know, I think what's going on right now, it's kind of funny, man. You guys know me. I'm like watching all this happen with the news. I'm watching all this go down between the different trades and things like that. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, bro? So let's just be completely buck about what happened on Nerd Theory on Monday, okay? So, you know, basically, before the show, Theory and I were talking about Kevin Feige's involvement. Okay. And I get a strong sense, I get a strong feeling, and I can't like prove it or whatever, you know what I mean? But I get this strong feeling that what was desired was to have a discussion in which Kevin Feige's involvement in Star Wars would be downplayed. Okay? And I really did get that sense. I was like, this is very interesting. Well, why are we talking about this exactly? You know what I mean? But I was happy to talk about it because I'm a massive Kevin Feige fan. I stan Kevin Feige. I've actually been saying Kevin Feige's involved in Star Wars for months and months and months now. You know what I mean? Again, I live in a third floor basement with zero sources. I have no idea what I'm talking about, so it doesn't really matter. But let's just, let's keep it a buck. I've been saying for a while now that Kevin's involved in Star Wars. Which is apparently definitely not true. Not at all. And he will, moving forward with Star Wars, he will not be involved with Star Wars at all. Not at all. You see what I mean? Now, on a very interesting happened with the scoop that Kessel Run Transmissions had on Sunday. And some things that are being reported by other outlets as well that are, I think, reading too far into Kessel Run's report. But at the same time, I also personally feel are true. So it's a really weird dance that's going on right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to believe, really. I think it's pretty clear, though, that in all seriousness, Feige must have something to do with what is going on, because if Disney isn't looking over at Marvel and realizing what they're doing right and what Star Wars is doing wrong, then they're just plain crazy. And, like, it just really seems weird to me that, like, if you were to have the greatest producer of all time in-house, okay? Like, if you were to have the greatest producer of all time in-house, in the same company, it seems crazy to me that he wouldn't consult. And think about this. He's now chief creative officer of Marvel proper, meaning everything, every decision, every creative decision hits his desk. It's not that he has to fiddle with it. You know what I mean? He can fiddle with it, but it hits his desk. You know what I mean? He sort of has, like, there's everything now sort of funnels through him, right? And I mean, look, I'm not saying anything that I haven't said a million times over the past 9 months, but if you think about Jon Favreau and Feige's relationship, I mean, these are literally the dudes that did Iron Man 1. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. I think currently right now things are, as much as I joke and we talk tongue-in-cheek and everything, I think things are a little bit weird right now. Like, if you look at what's happening with DC, and by the way, I'm going to do a big stream with some DC guys, and I want to get into the nitty-gritty of, like, what is going on with the DC drama and Hamada, Jeff Johns, all of it. What's going on over there? So I want to, like, dive deeply into that. But I think, like, anybody just looking out at fandom right now is like, whoa, dude, things can turn and go, like, bad really, really fast. You know what I mean? And, you know, there's an aspect to this. Look, how do I say this? Look, of course we don't know what is going on, but in a universe where it's possible that Feige is helping out and then downplaying the amount that he is helping in order to save face, I would personally find that to be counterproductive. If you really want the goodwill of Marvel, then you just need the goodwill of Marvel. You know what I mean? Now, regardless, Kessel Run's scoop, guys, was about how the Mandalorian and that whole universe, basically, like that whole story and that whole world, is quite possibly going to span all the way into 2027, which is when the movie comes out. Okay, now, look, people took that, like, people are taking that and running with all sorts of ideas about that. You know what I mean? And I think some of these ideas are quite possible. Like, it is absolutely quite possible that this is some kind of a plan to get to a big theatrical experience that will maybe end up in a Kevin Feige produced film. You know what I mean? And then, like, look, here's the thing. It's going to be really hard for me not to call out the absolute BS that would be the statements in the company line if they're really going to try to tell me if the Mandalorian in the Filoniverse leads into a Thrawn movie that's produced by Kevin Feige. It's going to be really fucking difficult for you to convince me that he was completely uninvolved other than his actual film. It's going to be quite difficult for me to accept that as a fan. So I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I tell you, it kind of seems like that's what's going to happen. And we'll sort of get to it, and we'll just go from there. So I want to go into the theater and look at these different articles, the Collider article and then the Screen Rant article about Kevin Feige's involvement in Star Wars. But before we do, we got some new members. I want to go through that, and then I want to I'll check out a few super chats. We're going to be pretty relaxed today, guys. I actually kind of made the stream in a way that I felt like it would be like kind of a smaller stream, so we can just kind of kick it, all of us. So, because I also want to talk about the Amazon Lord of the Rings show. There's some stuff about that, like that is cool, and I really do want to get into that. So let's see here. We got some new members. Aliante Macklemore or Micklemore, dude. I can't pronounce anything. Apologies, my friend. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now. Jedi Womack, Nerdventure Prime. Welcome to the Nerdventure Prime. Drum and Company. I'm sorry I'm late. I miss y'all. I haven't been present lately because of work and has been lately, but I assure you, I have nothing but love for you all. Thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you. And I hope work's doing okay, man. Daniel Rosendahl, you are a Nerdventure now. Welcome to the Nerdventures. Ricky, you're a Nerdventure now. Welcome to the Nerdventures. Justin, you're a Nerdventure now. Welcome. Robert Chamberlain, you're a Nerdventure now. Welcome to the Nerdventures, my friend. Try to stop by Saturday. It's going to be a good stream. A Gotham Knight says, you seen the new Star Wars game by Ubisoft? Open world? Yeah, we'll get there. Connecting the Dots is a member of the Nerdventures Prime. What's up? Welcome. You're a Nerdventure now. Joey Ebbs is a Nerdventure Prime member. Welcome to the Nerdventure Prime. You're not going to want to miss that Sunday stream, man. A lot of juice. A lot of juice on Sundays. Okay. So I just kind of want to get a vibe in the chat for where you guys are at. Okay. So let's do a little experiment. Let's put a number into the chat. Don't put the fucking number in there until I fully explain it. Okay. Because y'all are just going, 10, 5, Relax. Listen. I want to know, at what level do you think Feige is involved in Star Wars? 1 being not at all, and 10 being Kathy Kennedy is pretty much a puppet leader, and Feige has taken over her office. She works down the hall. What, like 10 being that and 1 being not at all. What level of involvement do you think he is at? Wow, a pretty wide array. 10 with Fabs from the start. Yeah, it's funny, man. It's pretty, I would say the 4s, I would agree with like the 4 to the 3. Mike says 2, 7, 7, 3, 11, 9. Kathy Kennedy was nothing. Okay. Yeah, well, she wasn't on the gallery. That's fair. He's got his hands full with Marvel. Highly doubt he'll have a major part in Star Wars. Fair. 8.5? Yeah. Don't get distracted? Yeah. It's interesting, right? Because that is sort of the question. I think many of you have the same idea. And it was funny because he sort of, I feel as though he was speaking to this when he was asked about it. Because he said something to the effect of like, even when he talked about Taika's Star Wars movie, he said, he smiled and was like, look, we know. It's White Shug, baby. White Shug was like, oh, no, Star Wars is excellent. And, we're very excited for Patty's movie and Taika's movie. When he's finished with Love and Thunder, of course. And Taika's over there like, that's White Shug. Finish your goddamn Thor movie. Then you can go do your Star Wars. You know what I mean? White Shug sent James Gunn over to destroy DC from the inside. And if they haven't figured that out by now, too late. That's White Shug. White Shug did acid with me in fucking Himalayas for like 10 days and then acted like it didn't happen and then held me over a rooftop to get me to say he's not involved in Star Wars. So, look. We know what it is. We know what it is. All right, let's look at these articles. I need to find them. And the game news is sick, though. The gaming news is sick. Well, we already, you know what? We don't have to look at the Collider one. Let's just look at the Screen Rant one. Let's just see. I haven't even looked at it. Maybe it's rather benign. Let's see. Kevin Feige thinks about Star Wars all the time. Okay. Just read it. See what's up. All the time. Exclusive. While Kevin Feige is busy expanding the MCU after the Infinity Saga and into Phase 4, he admits that he also thinks a lot about Star Wars. How dare you! On top of coming up with ideas for Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige is also constantly thinking about Star Wars. The MCU architect is set to launch Phase 4 in a matter of days through their first small-screen production for Disney Plus in WandaVision. Does this look okay on the screen, guys? I think we need to do this, yeah. In a matter of days, Marvel's main franchise is officially launching with the next step. Wait, what? Did I just skip some stuff? Okay, no. That's the whole article. Wow. In a matter of days, Marvel's main franchise is officially launching in the next steps of storytelling following an unseen extended hiatus due to the blah, blah, blah. For more than a year, the MCU has not released any new content following the end of the Infinity Saga as its epilogue, but work never really stopped for Feige and his team as they have a full slate to work on that will run until the next several years. If anything, things may be more hectic at this point since they're all producing small screen content for Disney Plus with a string of TV shows already in various stages of production. That said, it doesn't seem like the producer still isn't busy enough, as on top of his primary role as Star Wars COO, he says he also always wonders about Star Wars and the future of it. With Phase 4 only a few days away from... Dude, am I losing my fucking mind? Or are they literally just saying Phase 4 and the next days of March? Like, is every fucking paragraph in this article the same sentence? What is happening? Anyways, exclusively speaking with Screen Rant, for God knows what reason, he opens up about juggling his role as the MCU's architect in his new endeavor as a producer for an upcoming Star Wars project. Feige doesn't show any signs of fatigue, instead openly embracing the work, saying that it wasn't his work, he would still be interested in both franchises, constantly coming up with ideas about both of them. Here's the quote. Hold on to your butts. It's all stuff I love, and everything regarding Star Wars is not anywhere near talking about. So, it is Marvel, but if I wasn't being paid to do it, I would be doing it here in my third floor basement just with my toys, and nobody would ever see it. It's what I think about all the time. Wow. I gotta be honest, I don't even think we need to read any more of this. I don't think we need to read any more of this. Oh yeah, these are the ridiculous ass shoes that I'm trying to get. Yeah. I mean, you tell me, guys. I mean, you tell me. Am I crazy for thinking that he already figured Star Wars out with his toys? Oh, and you know, the mentioning of toys is interesting, right? Let's talk about toys. In this fucking gray box, I'm gonna lose it. We're doing an overhaul this weekend on the streaming stuff, so hopefully all this crap will get fixed as we head further into 2021. But I hate that box. Think about what he's saying, guys. You know, just think about what he's saying. He's talking about how if he wasn't being paid to do it, meaning like produce and create these stories and these universes and have his hands on everything, he would just be doing it with his figures. You know, one of the things that I find so interesting about Kevin Feige is I've listened to interviews with him in the past, and he talks about how, like, when he was younger, he would go see a movie like Superman, like Donner's Superman. And then he'd see the next one, and he'd be like, wow, that one just, like, wasn't as good, you know? And then he would recreate or redo Superman 2 or whatever movie with his toys, and he would make it better. So like basically he would be obsessed. And I think, by the way, a lot of us nerds do this, where like we see a movie. I mean, think about it. That's what people have been doing with The Last Jedi for like 3 years. They're like, this is what I would have done. This would have been better, you know, whatever. That's what we do. So Feige was this guy that would like watch these movies and stuff and be like, okay, but how could we make it better? You know what I mean? How would we make it better? And then he actually began working on movies. And he actually began making them better and using his toys. Okay? I've heard stories of Feige having a shed when he moved to Hollywood, a literal shed, because he didn't have like a lot of space, and the shed was full of his figurines and toys and collectibles. That's what I've heard. Yeah. And then, you know, the other thing that comes to mind with this is the whole thing with like Favreau, Filoni, and Robert Rodriguez. So Robert Rodriguez did an animatic using action figures and his kids to pitch the action scene for Boba Fett in The Mandalorian. He literally used action figures and toys to do that. Okay? And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that was not the first time Robert Rodriguez had done something similar with toys and his imagination. Capisci? So, like, what Feige is saying in this interview, and I think especially if you juxtapose it against his answer to Frosty, and what I consider to be a narrative trade war between those in Hollywood that might be more willing to play ball with Disney, and those in Hollywood more interested in getting like the story. You know what I mean? So look, what Frosty said was, Frosty asked him, like, are you involved in Star Wars, or are you going to be involved? Let's do our due diligence. Let's not be those kind of folks. Let's Kevin Feige Star Wars Collider. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this. Let's go back in here. Let's look at this article, and then let's juxtapose this article against the other one. Oh, man, look at this article. Kevin Feige addresses those Star Wars rumors. Is the Marvel Studios president secretly helping run the Star Wars franchise? Interesting. Interesado. Over the past few years, one of the things I kept hearing from people in Hollywood was that Kevin Feige might be involved in the Star Wars universe. It was the one rumor that would not go away. I'd heard everything from Feige is now running Star Wars to how he was working hand in hand with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni on The Mandalorian and other upcoming Star Wars series. And I get it. While The Mandalorian has enchanted Star Wars fans of all ages, the recent round of new Star Wars movies were divisive, to say the least. No Star Wars, no cry. And Feige has a proven track record with Marvel Studios of delivering crowd-pleasing films that are both commercially and critically successful. So it makes sense that fans would want to see what he could do with the Star Wars universe. I know I do. I'd love for Disney to announce Feige is taking over the creative role in charting the future of Star Wars. Cheers to you. Over the past 13 years, Feige has taken Marvel to new heights no one could have dreamed of. All right, I'm going to skip a little bit ahead here. Okay, wait. So in a bid to get to the bottom line of these rumors, when I spoke to him yesterday during the press day for the fantastic Disney Plus series WandaVision, which premieres January 15th, I asked him point blank if he was involved in Star Wars besides the movie he is producing. Not at all. Are you involved in Star Wars besides the movie you are producing? Not at all. What does involved mean? Having part in something, included in something, unable to identify those who were involved. She was involved in a lawsuit, actively participating in something involved citizen, blah, blah, blah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think, man? It's an interesting thing, right? Like, I think this is sort of the big debate, right? Right now, at least for me, this is something that I'm really kind of interested in. I strongly feel as though he is involved. And I think involved is the actually perfect word. Involved is at the bare minimum what he is, I think. Influencing could be another way to look at it. You know what I mean? But again, look, the reporting is saying no. Like, you know, Frosty goes on to talk about how Feige usually doesn't lie, okay? And that's fair. And I would tell you that the other article, right, the Screen Rant article kind of suggests like a more honest answer from him. And this is why I wanted to talk about it, because what the Screen Rant article suggests, and I think what the editorial at Screen Rant is doing, is picking up on the reality of the fact that he can't help himself. He already has it fixed. He has it all figured out. He has all the best plans. He already knows how to do it. He's like Elon Musk with like physics. His brain just has to do it. It's like, he already has it all figured out. He's probably got 16 different trilogies that you could do next, 14 different ways you could fix the sequel trilogy, 21 different ways you could make it all make sense together, 101 ways you could multiverse it and retcon and do whatever you want. So, look, that is all I want to say about it for now. Because I think we'll just wait to see how the trades and sort of Hollywood in general and all those different people, you know what I mean, do it. So, yeah, we'll just wait and see. We'll wait and see on that. I am very interested, and I'm also, like, super curious as to why it's so hot. Like, why is this so hot? Because there's people that are, like, backing off of this, too, and I'm like, okay. You know, that's cool. I don't understand why it's so hot. It doesn't seem that hot to me. You know what I mean? Like, dude's probably just answering some emails, looking at some spec scripts. You know what I mean? That's, you know, thinking about his film, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Or Kathy's working in the office down the hall. Who knows? So, I want to now shift and talk a little bit about the Lord of the Rings series. What do you guys think? Would you like to talk about the Lord of the Rings series? Do we have any Lord of the Rings fans in the chat? Any Lord of the Rings fans in the chat? Yes, yes, yes. Indy 5? No. Nice. Dope. Cool. This is going to be cool. Let me go use the restroom real quick, and then we'll come back in here and we'll talk about the Lord of the Rings show. Some cool info came out yesterday. We're going to talk about it. I also want to, after that, if you guys are cool, because we're just like I said, we're just chilling today. So after that, I want to talk about the WandaVision character of mystery that Paul Bettany referred to in an interview recently, about an actor that is a big surprise that's going to be in the show that he's really excited to work with. It's a big, big secret, blah, blah, blah. So I want to watch that video and talk about that as well. Okay, so if you guys are cool with it, we're going to go. We're going to just go today. If you're cool with it. BRB. Okay, let's get this going, man. Lord of the Rings. Massive, massive amount of money being spent on this show. Now, we talked about this a little bit before, but what's crazy is, like, guys, they spent, and we have to double check this. Adam, if you're in here, you got these numbers. You're pretty good with these numbers. You know what I mean? Like, you're pretty chill with these numbers, okay? But check this out. My question is, did they or did they not spend about $500 million just to even get the rights to make the show? Am I crazy? Did that happen, or am I crazy? You know what I mean? $500 million just to get the license. Okay? Then, maybe it was less than that. Maybe it was only like 250. Maybe I'm thinking it was 500 all day. I might be getting it a little bit wrong. Okay, so anyway, check this out. What I know for sure is that upwards of $500 million were spent. It was 250. Okay, so it was like 250 to get the license, and then it was like another 250 to develop the first season. So essentially, what the numbers I have heard is that it's like a $500 million plus show for a one season, dude. And this is what's crazy is, like, there's no guarantee that this show is a success, right? I mean, it's a great IP. It's super popular. But to me, even though the Hobbit movies made a fair bit of money and all that, it's like, I just don't know, man. I just don't know. It seems like a super risky deal. However, I am very excited for it. And I think what Bezos wants is he wants... Well, I mean, it's not all Bezos. It's like everybody at Amazon. What they want is for this to be the next Game of Thrones. Okay? So, this is an official and authentic synopsis for Amazon Studios' forthcoming series. So, let's just read through it, and then we'll break it down. We'll talk about it, okay? Amazon Studios' forthcoming series brings to the screens for the very first time the heroic legend of the fabled Second Age of Middle-earth's history. This epic drama is set thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and will take viewers back to an era in which great powers were forged, kingdoms rose to glory and fell to ruin. Unlikely heroes were tested, hope hung by the finest of threads, and the greatest villain that ever flowed from Tolkien's pen threatened to cover all the world in darkness. Beginning in a time of relative peace, the series follows an ensemble cast of characters, both familiar and new, as they confront the long-feared re-emergence of evil to Middle-earth. From the darkest depths of the misty mountains to the majestic forests of the elf capital of Lindon, to the breathtaking island kingdom of Numnamer, I think it's how you pronounce it, to the furthest reaches of the map, these kingdoms and characters will carve out legacies that live on long after they are gone. Okay, so that's pretty cool, man. That is pretty freaking cool. Now, Trev, I saw you put an article into the chat. Does that article have anything additional to what we just talked about? I'll open it up and see. Okay. Oh, wait. Is this an old article? Oh, okay. So this is about the... Okay, right on. Okay, cool. Cool. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. So... I'm not a super big Tolkien head, but I know a few things, and I'm hoping we got some Tolkien heads in here. And look, if this show pops off, we're going to need some real Tolkien people to help us out with some content. So if you're a big Tolkien head and you're really into the show or whatever, you really love the Den of Nerds or whatnot, whether it be articles that we will put on the website or videos or, whatever, we are going to make content about it. We're going to give it a shot. You know what I mean? I anticipate the show to be pretty big. I'm really hoping that it blows up. So, look, just one more little nerdy thing for us to all get excited about, in my opinion, as long as it, does well. So, my understanding of this is that beings like the wizards, I forget the word for them. They say it in the films. I don't know. We'll do some more research. The point is, they've been around for a long, long time. Like, Gandalf can be alive and be around for thousands and thousands of years. He can live through different ages. And Sauron definitely was around. And unless I'm mistaken, Sauron and all of those entities represent sort of demigods. And there were more powerful gods. Like, I think there's a dark god even more powerful than Sauron that represents like sort of like true pure evil from like afar. And similarly, I believe that all of the wizards, they were sort of there to help mortals. Like, the wizards are there to help the mortals, and they help the elves and stuff too. So I think they sort of help the beings of Middle-earth that are not gods, basically. And now let me look at the chat to make sure that I'm not getting everything wrong. Yeah, he has a master, right? Morgoth. Okay. And do we think that Morgoth is going to be sort of the villain of the show? Because, yeah, I believe that Sauron is more like a Loki type character at parts, especially in the Middle Age. Sauron is like there and pretends to be good sometimes, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So really, really interesting stuff, man. I'm excited to see what they do with that. Godfather. All right, that's it. I need to tell you guys something, okay? We'll wait. Godfather, I got something for that ass, though. But we'll wait. It will be Sauron in his fair form as Anatar. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, so he'll look like beautiful and stuff, right? I've read everything that Tolkien has ever written. Let's go. Dope, dude. Y'all need to send me some emails. Put me on some rabbit holes on YouTube so I can get learned up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get learned up. So, yeah, it's going to be really cool, man. I wonder how many familiar faces we actually will have. And you must just expect there to be a ton of different other people, faces, kingdoms, and different things like that. I know there were a lot of... The elves played a massive role, right? Like, weren't the elves pretty much in their prime at this point? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe in the Second Age, the elves were dominating, and mankind was sort of growing. And mankind's... When they arrived to Middle-earth, and they, like... Yeah, so that's what happens, right? So it's like... the elves are kind of winning, and then all these human immigrants kind of come over to Middle-earth, and then they start spreading like wildfire, basically. Right? How much of this series is based on the Silmarillion? I don't know if we know that. I think the Silmarillion is more like an encyclopedia, right? What's your email? I'm sorry, I'm new here. So the email is thedenofnerds@gmail.com. thedenofnerds@email. Or at email. It's thedenofnerds@email.com. Duh. Yeah, this is going to be cool. This is going to be fun to get into this with all of you guys, man. You know? I'm excited. I love Lord of the Rings, dude. Dude, it better not be like Game of Thrones. Okay, let's talk about the controversy. Leave it to Vito. Leave it to Veed. Here we go. Controversy City. Get your pitchforks ready. Everybody get mad. Okay. Here's what I want to do. Put a 1 into the chat if you're super upset that Vito is now dragging us into drama world about Lord of the Rings before we've even begun talking about it. Put a 1 into the chat if you are angry with Vito for taking us there. GG's Vito. R.I.P. motherfucker. Okay, so we'll go there into the drama, and it's all Vito's fault. Okay, so there is some contention out there and some drama that the Power Rangers are going to show up in this series, and it's going to be really weird, dude. Like, Power Rangers and Lord of the Rings, weird. But in all seriousness, there were some rumors started, and who knows how true these are, but there were rumors started that Amazon intends for the Lord of the Rings series to be very much mature and sort of sexually charged and sort of try to be Game of Thrones in that way. Right? And the problem, one of the reasons that people are so mad about this is because Tolkien is traditionally thought of as very fundamental, mythic, Christian, however you want to look at it. It's thought of as a, sort of conservative, I guess. Like, I don't know. The thought of Tolkien and the hobbits, like, going to a rave, you know what I mean, or whatever, it just doesn't necessarily click, right? Like hot orc mamas, hitting the club, it just doesn't work, right? So there's some, there's some concern about that. Look, I don't even know that it's true. When I looked into it, it seemed like it was kind of not true. But I will say that website, theonering.net, I believe is the site. Let me see here. Is it? Yeah, theonering.net. This website is pretty good, dude. So they probably, if they have articles about it, I would, I'd probably, I'd probably hear them out on what they have to say. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, I'm very much not as concerned about that as a lot of other people are. Look, first of all, like, I understand people's feelings about this sort of stuff, but I'm very much not prudish at all about this. You know what I mean? Like, I am a fan of the mature side of content. But also, with Game of Thrones specifically, I feel like Game of Thrones became a parody of itself, especially the show. And it was just trying to do ridiculous shit just to be edgy. And it became, like, gore porn. And, like, gross porn. You know what I mean? Like, it really did. Like, the show hit a point where, like, you can almost feel like Dan and Dave sitting behind the scenes being like, what's going to make Twitter really angry? You know what I mean? And shit like that. It's just, like, gross. So, I personally feel like there's obviously always a balance that you can strike. And I think Lord of the Rings is just not that sexual. Like, George is a perv. So, like, George's stuff is very pervy. And some of the stuff in the books is way grosser than what's in the show. Like, way more gross. You know what I mean? But there's nothing really like that as far as I know of in Lord of the Rings that would be needed. You know what I mean? It doesn't bring out any notes or elements from the source material. If they do it a little bit just because it's TV and it's tasteful, I'm cool with it. If they push it and they're like, this is what we want to do, this is how we're going to do it, nope. Not for me, fam. Not for me. So we'll just see. And that's sort of the drama. So again, Vito, thanks for dragging us into the drama. Freaking butthole. Now I want to blow an L with an elf. Yeah, that'd be great. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on then, Godfather. I got something for that ass if you want to move on. Okay, so Godfather is one of the producers here at the Den of Nerds. Okay? And Godfather's a massive Marvel fan. Every meeting we had last year began with him being like, I'm so sick of Star Wars. When do we get to talk about Marvel? And I was like, shut your mouth. And then we would fight really badly, and then the meeting would be over. Anyway, so all last year, Godfather is like really all about Marvel. We're finally into the year of Marvel, and so you're going to start seeing a lot more of Godfather, okay? And look, you know, Godfather's been working really hard on getting his green screen set up and everything set up for, you know, for the streams and whatnot. And I felt like it would be a great way to, you know, sort of do an icebreaker here. And sort of show you
hey guys, just, checking out my
a video of the Godfather that he sent in, and he said, can you please just play this
dark outside
and use this
let me know
as
looks good or if I need to make it
as a video to get everybody to get to know me.
Hey guys,
you know what I mean? And so this is the Godfather, and he has an incredible beard. You know, he actually is part Asgardian, as it were. And, look, I argue with him all the time. You know, he's a big bully, a big meanie, but he's also super powerful, super rich. Again, has some of the Odin force. You love to hate him. You hate to love him. Ladies and gentlemen, the Godfather. Welcome. Welcome, Godfather. Should we let Godfather just hang out and block the chat for the rest of the stream? Put a 1 into the chat if you want Godfather to just remain over in front of the chat for the rest of the stream. The people have spoken. Godfather puts a 1 in. You love to see it. You love to see it. So we don't have the audio here, but I think what he's saying is, let me just try to fill it in for you. I'll try to do a Godfather impression. Well, you know, I think we should keep doing what Feige wants and get those shield checks. You know, I understand you don't want the shield checks, and you don't. But look, we all need the shield checks. Stop it. We're gonna need the shield checks. So shield check. Shield check. That's my Godfather impression. Okay. Let's move on. Let's talk about oh boy. Let's talk about the Paul Bettany comments. Is this in Discord, y'all? Godfather, did you send this to me on Discord? All right, let me hang on 1 second, guys. I'll find this. All right, here we go. Yup. Hang on now. He does have such a great beard. You know what I mean? Like, I have the moment that I saw that beard, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work out, dude. I don't want you on camera. My beard envy is... It's gonna be rough. Okay, let's do this. Let us get into Das Theater. Shout out to Black Girl Nerds. First of all, I think their intro is pretty cool. I like it. All right, let's get to the thing here. This is interesting.
Job, and I do have favorite things. I mean, I think the montage sequence at the beginning of Brady Bunch 70s.
Can you see? Can you see? Can you see?
Episode is hysterical, and I really love. There's a magic show that I do in episode 2 that we really. We really had.
Folks are going to enjoy that.
And sure. There's stuff that I can't talk to you about where I get to work with an actor. It's going to be a surprise for everybody. I get to work with an actor that I've been wanting to work with for forever, who is just unbelievable. And we have some real fireworks together.
Awesome.
What was that?
Thank you so much for your time, Paul. Pleasure.
I think the montage sequence at the beginning of Brady Bunch 70s episode is hysterical, and I really love. There's a magic show that I do in episode 2 that we really had.
Folks are going to enjoy that.
And sure. There's stuff that I can't talk to you about where I get to work with an actor. It's going to be a surprise.
Don't look over.
I get to work with an actor that I've been wanting to work with for forever, who is just unbelievable, and we have some real fireworks together.
That's awesome.
Shake
Thank you
your
so much
booty
for your
for
time.
Black Girl Nerds. Shout out to Black Girl Nerds. Okay, let's talk about this. What do y'all think? I see some people in chat already going, oh, hello, Godfather. Hey, how you doing, guy? I saw some people in chat already being like, it's probably Peters. You know what I mean? Evan Peters. We talked about that a little bit. Let me tell you some of the look. Essentially, I would tell you from my CIA training that the moment he looks away, you can actually not take anything he says verbatim anymore. So, like, the moment he looks away, he is no longer probably being completely truthful. The moment he looks away and has a cognitive recognition of the situation, right? So, having said that, there's clearly a big surprise of an actor that will be in the show that he's really excited to work with. That is clearly a big surprise. Okay? And, you know, there's a couple of different things, okay, that it could be here. And I want to sort of take you guys through it. I think the most obvious choice is like Evan Peters. He has worked with him before. Again, it's kind of like rough to be like, well, what does he mean that I've wanted to work with in a long time? Does that technically mean he's never worked with the person before? I don't know. I don't think so. Could be. Is it a person that he worked with a long time ago? Because he kind of says, like, I've wanted to work with them forever. And again, this is after he looks away, so he could be sort of altering his speech a little bit. So maybe, like, he was originally going to say, I haven't worked with since 2009. But then he recognizes that he can't say that anymore, and so he's like, okay, I haven't worked with in forever. Right? So, a lot of theories on this one. I think my favorite theory is that it's Al Pacino as Mephisto. Okay? So, guys, Al Pacino as Mephisto? Holy mother of pearl by the beard of Zeus. I mean, I already thought I already thought like Feige just had me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's already too crazy. Like, everything that's going on, it's like too crazy. Like, it's nutso, right? But like, if you were to do Al Pacino as Mephisto, like, dude, that would really do it for me. That would really do it for me. Okay? Now, absolutely on the opposite end of that spectrum. What about Al Pashooler? That would be great too. So the other side of this that could be like super boring, that like if this were the case, I think a lot of people would be disappointed, would be if it were like Dick Van Dyke. By the way, is Dick Van Dyke actually alive, or are people thinking that they're going to digitally put him into the show? Can someone explain that to me? Is he actually still alive? But could he perform? Is he like... Could he perform? Yeah. I don't know. He still dances? Whoa. Okay. Well, that could be fun. Where's my goddamn face? Godfather, we're saving the rest of your face for Thursday night or Friday morning with WandaVision. Everybody come on by if you want to see that glorious beard again and watch me get all pissed off about it. Come hang for the WandaVision thing. So some people think that it could be Dick Van Dyke. Now, for certain people, that's going to be dope. You know what I mean? For all the boomers, they're going to be like, woo, you know. But for most Marvel fans, that ain't it, Chief. You know what I mean? I'm just going to be real. That ain't it, Chief. So I think if that's the thing, we're going to look back at this and be like, Paul Bettany. This is why you don't say things like that, because nerds are going to go too far, and then we're going to get disappointed when it's freaking Dick Van Dyke, okay? Now, a couple other things that could be going on. It could be Benedict Cumberbatch. I believe the last time that he worked with Benedict Cumberbatch was in 2009 with a film called Creation. It's about Charles Darwin. It's actually pretty cool. I like that movie a lot. So it could be a thing where he's just excited to you know, interact with Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange being in the show is a rumor that we're all pretty certain is true and is something that Marvel would like to hold back. It is something that they would not like people to know about, right? So maybe he's just talking about that. You know what I mean? That's possible. People are saying it could just be Evan Peters. And that's possible as well. But you know what? Let me tell you this. I'll tell you what Godfather threw at me yesterday, which I thought was pretty freaking dope, was what if it's Ian McKellen Magneto? Now, that is far out there, and I don't necessarily see any like actual indication that that would be something that they would do. But McKellen technically fits all of the sort of things that we're talking about, right? So, could be. And that would be pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, yes. So, I think really the point is there are a lot of surprises and exciting things coming for the MCU. This whole thing with this character, it really does seem to be something that a lot of people are interested in and wondering about, right? So, you know, I'll just say this too. Yesterday, Brandon Davis tweeted something about how Paul Bettany just released just talked about a massive spoiler for the show. And then I retweeted his tweet with sort of an ambiguous, cryptic set of emojis. And then Kevin Feige called Brandon and said, delete that tweet because Josh is tweeting about it. So that tweet's gone. So something's going on over there. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K, Ted. You know what I mean? So, guys, what time is it? Holy mother of God. Okay, it is, let's do like 10, 15 minutes of pure Q&A, and then we're going to call it a stream, okay? I want to see what's going on in the chat. I know I missed some members. I missed some super chats. Give me just a moment here. Okay, I'm going to go through, I know we went through some of the super chats. I'm going to go through. Okay, here we go. Bills fan says, could Lucasfilm Gaming mean KOTOR 3 is a possibility? I think that's definitely a possibility. I think, in general, we look for new products made by different studios. It was literally just announced before we went live that the EA, they're not going to renew that licensing agreement in 2023. And so they're already working with new studios. And it's going to be cool, man. So KOTOR 3, maybe a version of KOTOR 3 or a new KOTOR or something, you know what I mean? The Yusan Bong, what a great name, says, I can't make a channel because Disney is our NUG customer 9 to 5. It's a trap. So instead, I enjoy your guys' stuff. Yusong Bong would have been it. I love it, bro. Thank you so much. Ben Edwards says, rewatch Clone Wars. Rewatch Civil War. Wanda says, I can't control the fear. I can't control their fear, only my own. Do you think that line could be revisited? Absolutely. I think a lot of Wanda's history through the MCU is going to be revisited. I think, and again, we have this really cool video coming out today. Probably drop it maybe around 1 or 2 on the main channel. And it's all about, it's about a lot of different things, but one of the things that's interesting about Wanda is that she is the centerpiece of Civil War. Tony and Cap, their argument, in theory, becomes reality with Wanda. Wanda's like where the rubber meets the road. You know what I mean? And I think particularly in this show, with the amazing amount of power that she has, in some ways, Tony will be proven right to have been cautious with her, you know? And that's going to be cool. I'm excited to see how that goes. You know what I mean? Drum and Company says, don't have to answer this now. Probs wait till Q&A. But do you think Ahsoka will use the veil to stop Palp's spirit from traveling to Exegol? Whoa, that's pretty interesting. I don't think so, actually. I think my gut tells me it's Thrawn. And they're going to set up Thrawn. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they would do anything like that bold with the show. I mean, who knows? There could be some really cool stuff in there, but we'll see. Keaton Haas with a very generous $10 holla says, I couldn't watch Nerd Theory until yesterday on replay. What? I mean this genuinely. The conversation was incredible. I love hearing you and Theory talk about anything. That's very kind. Thank you. Keaton with another one says, Josh, hearing you talk about mental health and how you deal with not letting people get to you are things I apply to life now. So thank you, sincerely. Thank you. I would say it is worth seeking some professional wisdom on this. Conventional wisdom is one thing. Professional wisdom is a different thing. I am literally just some dude on the internet. So you should probably go get professional consultation. But then ultimately also make up your own mind. The Matt Cave with the $10 holla says, Return of the King on GameCube, PS2, Xbox is one of my favorite games of all time. Great couch co-op. Dude, you're not wrong. It had one of the best couch co-ops. And I think this is the same game that you're talking about. Didn't it have a thing where you would do levels on the tower? And it was like a horde mode where you're fighting all the different orcs and you have only a set amount of lives and you try to go as high up on the tower as you can. Yo, that was so fun. My Aragon was disgusting, dude. I had all the combos. Man, I would just be slaying people on that. It was fun. And you could do that with co-op as well. My friend would run Gandalf. I'd be running Aragon. Woo! That's some fun. That's some real fun right there. The real Jesse Reed says the Silmarillion treats Lord of the Rings like a footnote in elven history. Well, I'll tell you, as a human being, I don't much care for them pointy-eared elitist motherfuckers. So, screw them elves and their Silmarillion. Connor Derone says chances of an Elrond cameo, since he's actually a huge part of this age in the books. I'd say 25%. It really depends on what part of the second age they want to do. From what I understand, and again, I'm not the guy, right, for this. We're working on this, but I think it's like 1,000 years. I think that age is like 1,000 years. So it depends upon which part of that age they want to dive into. And again, I could even be wrong about that. I don't know. Michael Freeman with the $2 holla says, Josh, how many comic books do you own? Not very many in physical form anymore. A lot of like trade paperbacks, things like that, or even hardcovers. But I have a massive digital library of comic books. My digital library would make Trinity from Second Street Marvel want to vomit if I just scrolled and showed him all the books that I bought that are just ones and zeros, and I just scrolled on it. He'd be like, and then I'd be like, yeah, all those long boxes and all that shit you've got that's taking up all this room and all this crap and all this maintenance and all this stuff. You know what I do? Just turn off my digital device. The real Jesse says Van Dyke is 95 and still spry. I like that. Hey, some people would really like that. I would be like, okay. X-Ball 187, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now. Welcome. Jonathan Velasquez says, director said he went to lunch with Feige and Van Dyke. Get the F out of here. Is that real? Uh-oh. Rutro Raggy. Dan the Man coming in hot with the $5 holla says, I'm come with great tidings, my fellow nerds. We have an open world Star Wars game coming. Let's panic. Mac Catty hell. Yeah, no, it's going to be dope, dude. I'm excited. The future of Star Wars is super bright. They're turning things around. I'm excited, but also I'm never talking about Star Wars again because Kevin Feige is so mad at me and he's being such a butthole. And I'm like, okay, Kevin, you really don't? Okay, you're not involved with Star Wars? Well, guess what? Then I'm not going to talk about Star Wars. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about the game. I'm not going to make a video about Feige Star Wars. I'm not going to do it. I'm done. I'm outie. You want to play this game, Shug? You want to play this game? It's MCU for the rest of the year. I'm not talking about Marvel again until Kevin Feige comes out and says, I'm taking over. Wait, Star Wars. I'm not talking about Star Wars again, ever. Ever. I'm done. Until he admits that he's taken over. Joseph Kelson, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now. Vito says, Jason David Frank as Sauron. Dude, I don't know who that is. But yeah, Connecting Dots with the $10 holla says, love the community, you guys here. Keen for the business streams. Massive Star Wars fan, low-key Marvel fan, but keen to learn more from you guys moving forward. That's very sweet. I think you're going to find a lot of value in the business streams. A lot of what we do here happens behind the scenes together. We do a lot of members-only streams together, and we speak frankly, and it's a really fun experience. It takes time, but welcome to the community, man. The only limit to how integrated you become in this community is how respectful you are and willing you are to put yourself out there. So we'll just see what happens. And we will teach you up real good about Marvel. Do not worry at all. Wilby Daniels, give the new members a shout out. Yo, shout out to the new members. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Can't wait to see you in the chats. In the talks, in the watch parties, in the streams, in the trenches, in the locker rooms, in the lobby, in the war room. All of it. Can't wait. Can't wait. All right, so let's see what's going on in the chat, and then we'll go from there. Josh, me and Kevin Feige are going to get burritos. Are you in? Absolutely, dude. Joined the Nerd Vengers yesterday. Been enjoying this channel. Much success, brother. Hey, thank you, Jordan. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You're a Nerd Venger now. If I missed you and I didn't night you live, you can always let me know. I'll get you. So you're gonna stop talking about Star Wars and talk about the MCU to spite Feige. Yep. Think about it. Feige goes to lunch with Dick Van Dyke and does questionable things with Josh in the Himalayas. Believe that. Can't wait until it's revealed that Sword created Westview / Pleasant Hill. Maybe. Josh needs to knight us in person. Nikki, I would love to, but can you imagine? That might be a long line. And by the time we can actually see each other in real human form, that might be a very long line. But Nikki can skip the line. Everybody else has to stay in line. Nikki's allowed to skip. Ryan Cannell fan says, Snoop Dogg as Admiral Thrawn. What do you think? I absolutely love it. And I'm also secretly a big Ryan Cannell fan as well. Don't tell anybody. Big Stevie W says with a $5 holla, been waking up at 3 a.m. the last 2 nights in prep for the watch party. Oh, well, I've been not going to bed till past 3 a.m. Anyway, I didn't realize I missed Marvel this much. Dude, you and me both. Dude, can't wait to get back at it, man. It's Marvel time. Vegas Den of NerdCon. I mean, we'll see. We gotta wait. Let's let the world hopefully not destroy itself. Josh, what do you think should get their own Marvel series on Disney? Who do you think should get their own Marvel series? I mean, we've got a ton of great ones, man. You know, like Moon Knight is gonna be dope. Armor Wars is gonna be dope. I'm really interested in this Secret Invasion stuff, dude. Whatever they're doing with Secret Invasion, that's a big play for them. That's a big play, dude. You know? Toby news. The most recent bits are that he is... The rumors are that he is filming. Ready for some Fight Club this afternoon? Absolutely, 1 p.m. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, I should probably get out of here then, huh? Oh man. Okay. I went to lunch with the great Dick Van Dyke and Kevin Feige before we started production in WandaVision. What? Whoa. Whoa. Okay, guys, I think we're going to get out of here. I'm going to go work on releasing the WandaVision video for all of you. For those of you in the secret society that we don't talk about, I'll see you over on Twitch. Other than that, guys, big stuff on the way. A lot of collaborations, a lot of cool stuff coming. If you're a Nerdventure member, please come by Saturday. We've got a lot to talk about. Love. And, yeah, as I always say, guys, I hope you're having an awesome and a Nerd day. And I will see you in the next video. Funny thing is, I think Kevin might be legit upset with me. Like not a meme. Not a meme. Oh well.